Welcome to Life Skills with Louie. Today we are talking about mindful movement, which is a skill within somatic restructuring, a small section within getting to great. If you haven't watched the introduction to somatic restructuring, please do. It'll help to orient you to these practices. And if you haven't watched the two introductions to getting to great, one about mapping your experience, and then the second about responding to your experience, I encourage you to do so that you understand what this section is all about. Finally, if you haven't watched the introduction to the entire video series, please do so. It offers key orientation about what are the 5 sections of skills and when to practice them. So to dive into mindful movement. Movement is amazing. The key first point I want to make here is that spontaneous intuitive movement is wonderful. There are many different ways to move, and if you want to explore different types of movement, of course, look into yoga, tai chi, qigong, dance, different sorts of exercise, martial arts of any kind. There's so many ways to move, and ultimately developing spontaneous movement where you listen to your intuition and simply move how your body and psyche want to move is a very powerful practice. If you learn certain practices, it can help you to have kind of some routes to follow, but ultimately my encouragement with this skill is to simply move in whatever way is possible for you, and of course safe, and listen to the body. When we were children, we naturally moved all over the place in all sorts of wonderful ways. No one had ever taught us anything about movement. We learned how to move, and then we explored it, and we explored the world. That's the type of energy that I'm talking about with mindful movement. It can have significant effects on one's emotions and thoughts to move. If you are somewhat stuck in a pattern of emotion and thought, and then you use movement, it can change the body, and that can change the mind. I've brought up before in this section, I love the saying, move a muscle, change a thought, from AA, and I think it stood the test of time because it's definitely wisdom. So to bring the same mindfulness principles into the experience of movement, I'm going to once again have this chart with mindfulness and the basic principles, and we're going to shine that light of mindfulness onto our experience of movement. So first, observe. Simply notice. Start to move and experiment with movement and notice the experience of the body. What sensations do you experience? What feels pleasant? What feels unpleasant? What type of movement do you feel a natural desire towards? And what types of movement do you not? Observe how your emotions and thoughts respond to different movements. Play around with it. Observe your surroundings, your setting. Of course, make sure you're safe. Never do anything that is too much, and always consult a physician if you need guidance on what types of movement are okay for you. Describe the experience as you're in it. Use words to concentrate and pinpoint your attention on different movements. Now I'm moving forward and backward and swaying. And the feelings that are happening and arising as I'm doing this are joy, or some fear is coming up as I'm moving. Describe the experience as it's happening. Participate. This is a key one with movement. Let go to the experience. Let yourself simply move. As I spoke about earlier in this, children just move. Children have boundless energy. If you have been a parent or have been around young children, you'll be aware of how challenging it is to keep up with them. That's because they are practicing this intuitively without any guidance. We're really remembering as opposed to learning something new here. We're letting go of our very scripted, rigid movements that are dictated to us by culture. Non-judgmentally, let go of judgment around the way you move. Simply move however your intuition calls you to move. One, mindfully pay attention, concentrate on the movement. When your mind wanders somewhere else, which is totally natural, bring it back, turn it back to experiencing the movement. Effectively, be aware of your vision for your life and how does movement fit in. I'm sure it does. And the question is simply how. And bring that vision into the movement and see how it serves. The movement can serve your vision. Notice intuition and intuitive senses of how to move. Move intuitively when you can. Notice the emotions, and sometimes it's helpful to move through an emotion. So if you're feeling something like fear, moving in a sense of how fear wants you to move, to feel it more fully, and then listen to your intuition about how to move through and move beyond. And if you practice this, gratitude will naturally arise, because to move intuitively and spontaneously is a beautiful feeling, even if they're very small, subtle movements. And you can bring in just a sense of gratitude that you have the ability to move in whatever way you do have the ability to move. I hope this is a helpful primer for mindful movement and restructuring the way you experience your body and the way your body feels through movement. It's amazing how emotion and thoughts can run through the body with movement. And I hope you find this helpful. Thanks for listening.